Ladies and gents, we are here. This is the Chris Evans episode entitled Whatever from Scott Pilgrim Takes Off. We all knew this episode was coming where they would be totally focusing on Chris Evans because, hey, why not capitalize on your Chris Evans when you have him, you know? I mean, I would if I had Chris Evans in any of my projects, but hey, I mean, you know, Chris, call me, you know, whatever. Be that as it may, I don't think I actually talked about this in previous episode recap and reviews or whatever. I mean, I talked about the score and all that, but I haven't really specifically talked about the theme song. Now, just allow me a little tangent while I gush about this theme song because, oh my gosh, this theme song is just amazing. Very, very heavily anime inspired, and I mean, it's sung in Japanese even. So, yeah, I gotta admit, it really, it packs the punch as it needs to be. I mean, the only other recent theme song that I even can think of is the Peacemaker, you know, TV intro song, like the theme song and all that. Like, that was really awesome too. But this one, I gotta say, this one's catchy, and it gives you a lot of warmth and all that, you know? It's similar to how I feel with Cowboy Bebop, the Cowboy Bebop theme song. It's just immaculately amazing. I can't explain it. It's just Japanese theme songs are just amazing, and I would assume that this was Korean or Japanese inspired, so hey, good going, good work. Thank you for that amazing theme song. All right, back to the rest of the review and all that. Here's the first thing. I really, really enjoyed the whole beginning part of the whole thing, like the beginning part of the whole episode where we actually learn more about Chris Evans' character, who, by the way, is Lucas Lee. I keep on forgetting his name, but I'm going to keep on saying it until I get it. Lucas Lee. Okay, here we go. Lucas Lee. He's actually heading toward rock bottom. His star is plummeting, and he needs to get this movie made and all that type of stuff because all of his career is basically plummeting. So this is the one thing that's going to shoot him back up to stardom and all that, which gives a lot more context to his story. It's actually pretty, you know, interesting and kind of adds some layers to his character. It's kind of unreal. But anyway, what would the movie be, though? What would the movie be that Lucas Lee has to star in order to get it or get his stardom back high? Yep, that's correct. It's the Scott Pilgrim versus the World movie where he plays, oh, you guessed it, Scott Pilgrim. This is just comedic gold. I absolutely adored this part of the episode. It was just absolutely hilarious. For all those who don't know, and maybe some of you will think I'm either old or cringe or whatever, I don't care. My favorite series of all time is The Office US. It's just, I just love that show. I don't know why. Every time I pop it on, I just laugh. I know it's not necessarily popular anymore, but I mean, you know, I don't care. I love the show. Sue me. But anyway, this reminded me a lot about The Office and like the little behind the scenes type of, you know, overhead shots that they use, like the little interview things that they plug in and all that. And I get it. That's not what they're referencing. Technically, they're referencing, you know, behind the scenes documentaries of most movies, especially the movies back in late 90s, early 2000s, which is where I believe this show is supposed to be taking place in, especially the early 2000s, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. But anyway, just the fact that young Neil just, I guess, all of a sudden has this gigantic project and people are ready to greenlit this movie in order for this movie to be made and all that, just out of sheer coincidences and out of the cold blue, just makes it absolutely hilarious. Because I've worked a little bit in the movie industry myself, and I gotta say, it is absolutely not like that. I wish it was, but it's not. So just the fact that you got someone as big as Lucas Lee or whoever in this universe in this film and all that is absolutely hilarious. And the fact that everyone, there's actual like gigantic movie studios actually wanting to make this film too. It's kind of funny. It's really hilarious. And Kieran Culkin's, character, Wallace Wells, the fact that he's so amazing that the only actor that he's going to be allowed to portray him is himself is absolutely hilarious as well. I don't know why. Wallace Wells was just kind of whatever in the first, the movie and all that, but I don't know what it is, but this series is kind of giving me a little, I don't know. I'm starting to fall in love with this character, as is a lot of other characters in the show, but still, not in that way, but still it's this character is just becoming one of my favorites, and I have absolutely no idea. What they did with him was absolute gold. Also, young Neil. Young Neil is shining brighter than he was before in the film and all that. I don't know why, but for some reason, I didn't really care for young Neil in the film and all that. I totally forgot his name, but, this movie's kind of making me remember a lot of young Neil as the series goes on and all that. I mean, it's the only thing I have to say is he better graduate to Neil at the end of the series. That has to happen. I also liked Ramona, kind of being her stunt double, which is actually kind of interesting. She can't be the star, so she might as well be the stunt double, which she can be, I guess. I think she mentioned that she was a stunt double a couple times. I don't know, but yeah, this is kind of where the episode falls a little flat, a little short for me at least. It's just, the same type of stuff kind of happening. It's basically the same old, it's not kind of diverting from episodes previously or the episode previously. It's just the same thing. Ramona kind of goes into this ex's world and all that and tries to talk about Scott and try to decipher this mystery and all that, which is it's fine, it's whatever. Oh, like the episode, whatever. Yep, exactly. Yeah, I planned that. Yeah, I totally planned it. Anyway, though, the episode's fine. The action's, same on par with all the others. The whatever song, it's more punk than I would kind of expect it to be. I don't know. It's not really rubbing me the right way, I guess. I don't know. I've been with all the music up until this song, whatever. And I don't know. Maybe it's just too much pausing. Like, there's not a lot of music. It's just a lot of pausing, which I get. It's a little punk, but still, I would rather it go throughout, like they're screaming at the top of their lungs, yell whatever, and then they pause, It's just kind of whatever to me. And that's another, just another reference to the thing. Ha 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 ha. Anyway, but yeah. Chris Evans obviously does an amazing job. All the voice actors do an amazing job as well. The one weird part about this is that we get very, very little Scott. I mean, we got a lot of him in the first episode, to be fair, but up until this point, there's been very, very little Scott. And I get it, right? He's dead, but at the same time, you would kind of expect some more Scott to be kind of shown or whatever here. Maybe a little bit more of a, flashback or something, but I don't know. It's fine. I'm not going to do that again. It's fine. The episode's doable. It's still a great episode. Don't get me wrong. But at the same time, I've expected a lot more from this show. Like this show, like the first episode, just shot through the stratosphere for what it could be. And now it's just kind of, it's just kind of the same old, which is still good. It's just not as surprising or whatever. Oh, okay, I said it again. Or, anything like the first episode. But then we got the portal with the vegan, the guy with the vegan and the Brie Larson and all that. So they're gonna be in the next episode. So yeah, that's gonna be wild. And I've seen that episode. And yeah, that gets very interesting, to say the least. But anyway, though, guys, that's it for this recap and reaction review of Scott Pilgrim Takes Off, Season 1, Episode 5, whatever. You know, there's a lot of great skateboarding, but, you know, that's really just about it. But what do you guys think? Is this episode good, or is this episode better than the first episode? Is it worse than the first episode? Whatever you guys think, comment, let me know, and don't forget to subscribe and ring that bell. More vids come your way, and hey, take care, guys.